Going on, everybody? Cable Guy King coming to you again once again. Now, this is the third time I've tried to do this video today. I don't know if it's the video mojo police or what, but the cars just ain't been falling in my favor, so we're gonna give it one run for the money. I'm gonna try to do this in one take, no cuts, no edits, because when I do a gear review video or anything like that, I don't like to do a lot of cutting and editing, because you know, it always makes, when I see a lot of editing in a video, I wonder what did they take out. So we're going to do this as good as I can in one take for you today, alright? Now, a lot of y'all know what this is. I did a review on it back a couple of years ago. This is the Triangia XE stove, titanium. Of course, it's got 3 little legs on the bottom, 3 little legs on top. Your pot sits on it like so. You can take it out right here, put your trioxane, hexamine, whatever you need in there, even a wet fire cube. Or you can fill this up with alcohol. I've added a carbon felt wick inside of mine so it doesn't slosh. It works great, just like your penny stove and any other alcohol stove. It works awesomely well if you need to boil a cup or 2 cups of water. But like every other alcohol stove out there, it's limited by how much alcohol it holds. When you get done with it, you can't just turn it off and pour the fuel back out or disconnect the fuel. If there's any fuel left in this, you either got to let it burn out or turn it over and let it drip out on the floor. You might can get a little bit out of this back into your bottle. Ain't no telling. You have to carry a bottle, which is a big downer for me. And if you wanted to boil water in something like this, you couldn't do it either. Now this holds 4 cups. This is just an old sugar container. You probably saw this in my article I did in Self-Reliance Illustrated about what's in my pack. It holds food, my cup, everything I need in it. If you have an alcohol stove, this ain't gonna boil unless you got time to let the stove cool down, put new alcohol in it, what have you. Now, Mini Build Design, a few other people have made some with reservoirs that you can fill and keep it going, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about the simple, easy to use, just a one-piece deal. Something you can just throw in your pocket and run with. So, with that being thought about, enter in one of my favorite alcohol stoves. This is just a smaller version of it. This is the Trangia mini spirit burner. This is the baby to the big brother, which is about twice this size. Now the features I like about this, one is it has this simmering on top. What that allows you to do is once you get the fire going, it blossoms. You can put this simmering on it and turn it down and open and close this to allow as much or as little fuel as you need to be consumed, thus allowing your heat to be changed so you can keep things at a slow simmer or a steady boil, what have you. The main feature I like about it is it's got this really nice heavy-duty lid that screws on with a really heavy O-ring seal in it. And what that allows you to do is fill it up one time with about 6 ounces of fuel, use it, put the lid on it, have at it. When it cools down a little bit, put the lid back on. Now I'm going to point out a couple of things to you before I show you a little burn with it. They're not really problems with the stove itself, so don't think I'm telling you that it's a reason not to get the stove. Let me get a little screwdriver out here so I ain't fighting this thing all day. You got this little black O-ring right here, and it's just a real, you know, hard piece, or a soft piece of rubber rather. Now that O-ring is not designed to take extreme heat, since it is just a soft pliable rubber. What I recommend you do is pull that O-ring out. You can see it pops right out. When it's dry, it's real easy to get out. And fill the top groove in here with black RTV high temp silicone. What that'll allow you to do is put this back on the stove as it's burning and use this as your snuff ring to put it out and seal it up while it's still pretty warm. Now keep in mind, hot gases have expanded, cool gases contract. So if this stove is still pretty warm and you put this top on and you screw it all the way down solid, like that, as it cools down, the gases inside are going to contract, it's going to form a vacuum, and you're going to have to use a little bit more force to get this lid off. It's just something to keep in mind if you do that. I have not put a silicone seal in mine yet. I'm waiting until that one messes up. The other little problem, and I have this, I've had 4 of these stoves, 3 of the big brothers, this is my first small one. 2 of them were made the same way as this. The simmer ring on top is not riveted. There's just a little where they just pricked through the metal real quick and bent it, kind of swedged it over. Well, that swedge isn't strong enough, and after a while, this simmering lid will come off when it's in the open position. You know, when it's closed and locked, there's another little tab that holds it. You can see I'm slinging that pretty good. It ain't going nowhere. But when you open it, it will pop off. Now, you can put a little rivet in there if you want to hold it down in place. Just don't tighten it too much. But I don't see that it's really an issue. It doesn't cause any problems with me as far as using. It actually makes it a little bit easier to rotate this bezel around to open and close it while the fire is burning. The other thing I really love about it, and I would say the key point for me getting it, was its versatility. Now, the first thing you'll notice is I have the canteen shop kit. I've got the canteen cup and the grill top stove stand. Paracord sling made by Paracord guy. And the top of this Trangia nestles right behind my canteen, right in that little V notch of the fabric there, so that when I bring this over and I lock it down into place, it snaps in. It's back in the back solid right there. I've carried this thing through the woods for hours and hours and hours. I ain't worried about it going nowhere. It's really just locked in tight, and it's not a problem. Now, if I wanted to drink something out of the canteen, of course I'd have to take this out, but that's not an issue. It doesn't bother me none. That might be an issue for you, but if it is, put it in your pocket. It fits right down in there. A lot of times I'll leave the simmer ring at home just so I don't have to worry about you losing it, because a lot of the meals I cook when I'm out by myself is just a dehydrated or just boiling water for coffee or something. I don't need a simmer ring. But if I'm going with the wife and the kid, I might need the simmer ring to keep a low heat, maybe to make rice, pasta, such as that. If I want to make pine needle tea, I'll use the simmer ring, because you don't want the water boiling, you just want it kept at a good hot temperature. That's when I'd use that. Now, not only does it work great with the stovetop grill stand and the canteen kit, but it works just as awesome with just a standard GSI cup, as long as you have a stove stand and a windscreen or something. Now, this is a windscreen that Rob gave me when I got the Vargo mugs, one that he made. It's out of an old canteen stove, the old aluminum one. You rivet it together. It nests right around my Vargo titanium cup and right around this GSI cup. See, they rest right in there. That fits right inside of that. I can drop that down inside my haversack. I've always got a cup. Of course, I can set my GSI Guide Design bottle down inside of this as well. So everything's still in one piece. And then when I get where I'm going, the little butterfly handles keep it from falling all the way down in there. And without the simmer ring on, this actually rests just perfect enough to keep the wind out of it, and the cup is resting just above the top of my stove itself. So that makes it versatile for that use. Now, if I'm out with my main pack and I've got my big container, I've got 3 holes in this that I can hang this from a limb with to boil over a fire. But right now in South Carolina, we got a partial no burn ban, so I don't want to start a big fire. I can put this right here on the ground, set my stove inside of it, plop this down right on top of it. I don't care who made your alcohol stove, unless it's a continuous feed alcohol stove, you're never going to get this much water to boil with this. But I guarantee you, I can boil this with this in about 16 and a half, 20 minutes, depending on the weather conditions and such. I've done it, I've used it, I love it, and it doesn't leave no mess on your pot. So that's the versatility of it, one of the main things that I love about it. Now I'm going to show you a little burn on it real quick. We're going to set it up. Now I've got, it's about half full of fuel, so probably about 3 ounces. I know y'all won't be able to see this flame, but I'm going to go ahead and light that up. We're going. Go ahead and get my canteen cup out and my stove. Well, my grill top stove, I should say. Now that's it, right there on top of it, just like yonder. You grab me a little water, folks. About 3/4 of the way full of water there. And that's rocking and rolling, ready to go. Now, I'm going to zoom in on that just a little bit, y'all, so bear with me. Like I said, I try not to cut if I can help it. I'm going to leave that set right there. And if I have to cut, I will, but I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try to just speed this up. We're still rocking and rolling, making sure, because you can't see the plane, you can only feel it a little bit. I'm going to leave that rocking and rolling. I said if I have to, I'll just do a fast frame on it to get to where it starts boiling so you can see the time. If not, we'll edit, you know, cut and edit, and I'll see it. Let's see what time we got right now. All right, y'all, it's 17:26 or 5:26 in standard time. Don't know if you can see that good on the camera or not yet. But 5:26, we'll let it rock and roll and see how long that takes. Move itself. Now we're at a simmer boil right now. There's bubbles in there, it's just not a hard rolling boil. I don't know if you can see the steam coming off of it or not. But we're gonna go ahead and let that call it. So that you can hear it sizzling away in there. And then we're gonna take our real slow and turn it over. And I'm gonna snuff that out. Like I said, it's warm, but it's not so hot that you can't hold on to it for a second. And I've still got, it was halfway full, and I've probably still got 1.5 ounces of alcohol in there. And for a high output stove, y'all, that ain't bad at all. And that stove stand, I'll show you. I mean, that's the heat output that you get from something like that. It is just rocket hot. Set it up there and let it get some airflow and cool off. Set all this stuff to the side for a minute. Let's zoom me on back out here. Get me back in frame. I got my main man, my son, doing my camera work for me right now. In a nutshell, y'all, you know, I reviewed a lot of gear over the past 2 years. I think I've been doing this now. And there's a lot of gear I've reviewed that's never made it to the screen. And I'm going to tell you why. I believe if I can't say something nice about a piece of gear, first of all, I'm not going to recommend it. But I'm not going to go on there and bash them either. Now, I'm going to try to be honest if I do review one. I'm not going to bash it. The things that I found wrong with this, stuff like this little simmering, don't think that's me bashing it, because I would buy a dozen of these if I could afford it. I'd have one in every kit I've got just for the sake that they're versatile, they're lightweight, and just that quick, after all that hot burning, it's cooled down enough that I can pop that lid on it, put it in my pocket, and rock on. I mean, it takes longer than that to eat your food. So while your food's cooking, while your dehydrated meal's reconstituting in your hot water, this is already cooled off enough to go ahead and put it up. So it's a piece of gear you don't have to leave. I don't have to take bottles with me. I can throw that in my haversack. Don't have to have as much junk. It weighs a little bit more than your penny stoves, but it's built to last. These things have been used since World War II. I have no problem at all telling you that this will last you and probably your grandkids if you buy it. Now, penny stoves, unless it's like this titanium stove, they're just not meant to last that long. But at the same time, the titanium stove, unless you find it somewhere on sale that somebody's bought tons of them bulk, you're not going to find this for the price you're going to find this either. Right now, your bang for your buck lies in something more like this. There's no moving parts. There's no little legs that get weak over time or anything like that. Just fill it and grill it, people. So, I'm going to clean all this stuff up, go take care of some business with the family, go see a concert my son's doing tonight. I hope this has helped y'all make a decision on whether you're going to buy this or not. And I hope the decision is that you're going to buy it, because I'm telling you, no matter what kind of cook system you got, Trangia Spirit Burner will work with it. Now, you can't cook directly over it because it is methanol. It is you know, a denatured alcohol or a methanol mixture, you don't want to cook over it, but you can cook with it. So don't grill marshmallows and all that kind of stuff. It might make you sick. But use it with your cook kit all day long, people. They don't take up much room in your gear, and it's probably one of the most dependable little stoves you're ever gonna buy. Cable Guy Ken, we'll catch you in the next one.